All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are making up Wednesday's flight that I canceled. We're doing it today. Should be less than 2 hours, I'm guessing. The time was showing, but seems like sometimes when you do stuff, everything kind of disappears, but our route. So we're gonna take off here from runway 14 right. We're going to kind of turn a little bit to the right and head for our first navigation aid right here by Offutt Air Force Base. Never heard of it. That's a new one on me. Intercept that VORTAC, and then on our way to our VOR DME way down here, and then we'll turn towards Topeka. VORTAC there, and then landing here on runway 13. So once we get here, it's pretty much a short run, I believe, to our destination. Yeah, only 12. So once we get here, we can contact the tower and say, hey, we're coming in for landing. Oops, I minimized or I want to keep that open. There we go. All right, perfect. So that's what we got for today. Like I said, it should be a fairly short flight. Our longest leg is the distance between, I think, let's see. So we have, so yeah, from here to here, 79 nautical miles, and it's 43. So should be fairly reasonable, easy to do, not a lot of fuss and bus and whatever else you want to call it. So there we are. That's what we got going on. I just need to step away for just a brief moment, and when I get back, we'll get ready to go. Good morning, Daniel. How are you? Let them know, Daniel, that I've stepped away if anybody comes in and asks where I'm at since you're here. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. All right, so that's what the plan is for today. Should be a fairly straightforward flight. I've already got the weather set. We'll just change the time once we spawn in and get our navigation stuff dialed in, and then we'll be on our way. Wait a few more minutes, and then I'm going to get going here because I do want to watch Scruffy fly today. I don't remember where he's flying. Let me look on the Discord. Today he is flying in. Today he is in. Oh, he's doing the Potomac River. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. So he's landing it, I think, at Washington Dulles, Reagan. So yeah, I definitely want to watch that. If I wasn't flying this morning, I'd totally been watching. Well, I suppose there's worse things to watch. The last one I really watched was Civil War. The rest of them I just can't be bothered with. It was fun for a while, but after, it became so formulaic, and I don't know. I was like, yeah, it was entertaining for a bit, but I think I'm done with it. I do have both of the Daredevil or Deadpool movies. Not that those were official Marvel movies, but I mean, it's a Marvel character, but I do watch those from time to time because Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I don't know why I keep saying Daredevil. Deadpool was absolutely hilarious. First one especially. The second one was, it was funny, but not as bitingly funny as the first one was. But I do think, just like Robert Downey Jr. was born to play Tony Stark, I think Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. We just didn't know it at the time. But we'll also have story time today. We will have story time. Not that I think it'll uh, too much. Yeah, yeah. I could understand that. It's not for everybody. I remember I saw it the first one I saw in the theater. I think it wasn't long after I moved up here. It came out, and where I was living at the time, uh, I happened to mention I was staying with a pastor basically, and I said, "Oh, I went to see Deadpool," and what? Why? And I'm just like, I get it. It's swearing and violence and all. I said it's just funny. I just laugh. I don't take it seriously. It's just. But yeah, I can understand it. It's not for everybody. But I think he brought the character to life. Just like a lot of the actors, they were the right actors for the roles. But yeah, something like that though. I don't think they could have done it PG-13. It just wouldn't. Yeah, I can understand, Daniel. I completely understand. That's okay. It's not for everybody, and you know, so yeah, but that's all right. But I think they found the right actors to create to bring the characters to life. Um, yeah, surprise. I wonder if, well, young Joseph might still be knocked out cold. He's gonna miss story time. That's okay. We'll tell story time anyway. He'll miss it though. He's gonna miss story time. I already can tell. Unless he pops in and says hello and says he's here. All right, a few more minutes and we'll populate into the. Oh, let me. Where's the roots? Here is the server. refresh there on the. All right. Yeah. 5 more minutes. We got time. We can wait. So I did test the Embraer 170. Yeah, I think I took the 170 last night. Yeah, I did a quick flight from Monterey, little airport there, Monterey Bay, right up to San Francisco. Way better. Now the only thing was that at Monterey, there's no like there is passenger service in and out of there, especially with regional jet stuff. Um, but there's no like ground equipment. So there's no ground power unit or anything to turn on in order to get your aircraft started up. So I had to basically start on the runway, raring to go. But which was fine. But it handled a lot better. Uh, I was able to get the autopilot and the nav system going right away. It wasn't like I had to keep telling it to go and fly. So that worked out. It's fantastic. It's a lot better than it was before. So I did spend some time last night looking for airlines that fly the Embraer series jets, looking for interesting places, and I think I came up with maybe 4 or 5, maybe more, maybe half a dozen. But anyway, so I've got some routes for us to fly eventually. Um, real quick before we spawn in here, next week I have to move Thursday's last flight on Route 66 from Thursday to Tuesday. I have an appointment that I had to make for this coming Thursday. So it'll be kind of touchy. Well, there he is. All right, now we can have story time for sure since Joseph's here. He likes story time. Um, so our last flight on Route 66 will be on Tuesday instead of Thursday. So that gives me time to get to my appointment and not be in a rush and everything else. So all right. Well, Joseph's here. I think we can go ahead and spawn in and get some things changed, and we'll get in the air and have story time. Brought to you by Joseph. Today's flight brought to you by Pair of Socks Airlines. Pair of socks. Just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. As you'll find out later today in Scruffy's stream, if you watch them, and please go watch them after we're done here. Go hang out over in his stream. He'll show you his socks. You can do the flush sound. You can do the fart sound. You can do all kinds of fun stuff over in Scruffy's stream that you can't do here. Because I don't have all that fancy, dancy equipment like he does. It may be a while before that happens, unfortunately. But we'll see. You never know. You never know. All right, let's change the time real quick. The weather's already set. Ooh, that's perfect. Right there. Nailed it. Nailed it. All right, so we have our first one is where is it? 11170. All right, there's that. Oh, let's get our handy dandy iPad on. So yeah, I did check the older model of the other model of the Nucleus 52 does not have this as an option. I think this is just for the retrofit. Okay, let's dim the lights just a bit. There we go. That's better. Oh, let's turn off the wing lights. I think we'll get a nice exterior shot here for our. So what I've been doing. No, that was yesterday, Joseph. Today is pot roast. You know? You keeping up with the days with Daniel? Come on now. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I like that. Different there. No, Daniel, you were supposed to be like, no, that was yesterday. You were supposed to give him a go. Daniel, come on now. Make him think about the days. So what I've been doing when I upload these videos to pie and mash for lunch. Yeah, imagine that. The screenshots that I take, I use for the cover of the video over on YouTube. So they look quite nice, I think. And of course, I upload this with my flight when I complete the flight over there, and I do my hours over on FS Hub. So, all right, I think we are set to go. Let's get in the air and make our way to Topeka, Kansas. So Nebraska to Kansas. There's an old Army joke. What did General Custer say before he left Fort Riley? Don't change anything until I get back. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. All right, away we go. On a heading of 179. It's the Alrighty, Daniel. That's interesting. We're not picking up the It's not giving us a distance to our... Maybe it's a tack can, not a vortex. That's probably what it is. It's a tack can, not a vortex. So it's a very short run here. So on our first leg. Our way to our second one, we'll we're on our way. Our second one, we'll start story time. Well, I guess we can do this story time now. Do some, well, I'll wait till we get to the... Alright, so there is our community view. It should be right there. Next, I did not know that there was this little Air Force base here. Tells me that's the lights for the Air Force Base. Blinking light right there. Ooh, I should turn on more lights. There we go. And our next one is going to be 1820. Alright, well, forgot about the flaps. Down in that next there we go. Of 162, so not too much of a major shift here. Oh, there's the Air Force Base right there. Must be another smaller airfield right there. That looks like an airport right there. Hello, Mella. Something about heavy rain in London. Heavy rain in London. Oh my goodness, no. Not heavy rain. It means you can't go to the dodgy McDonald's. No wonder why you're having pie and mash for lunch. were you going to do with yourself today, Joseph? I had chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Ate that while I was watching Pulsey mow the grass. Grass mowing simulator. It's quite interesting. And I need to read the next one. What else we didn't do? We haven't added some heat to our. I was so excited that Joseph was here. I forgot to do a few things. Take care of a few. Alright, so there's that. Okay. Afternoon, Bex. Well, afternoon to you, good morning to me still. The sun still is trying to creep up over the horizon here. It's a little bit light out, but not full-blown daylight yet, it seems. So anyway, so the story is, right, when I first got to Germany, I was several years, we'll just leave it at that, several years younger than young Addie's here. And the thing is, in Germany, if you're a soldier, the minimum age here in America for drinking is 21. But in Germany, since we weren't on American soil technically, well, not even technically, really, the 21-year-old age right out the window. And so when I got there, drinking wasn't just, how can I say it? I'll put it this way. Drinking excessively was encouraged. It wasn't like, oh, just go to the bar and have a beer or whatever. It was alcoholism for in all reality, when I was first in, was encouraged and tolerated, like very much so. My senior leader, who Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major, who's the senior enlisted person for the entire battalion, massive alcoholic. This guy would go to the club on post, drink, start fights, all kinds of stuff, and throughout the week, I would say probably at least 80% of the formation was probably legally drunk on duty on any given day of the duty week. And you know, when you're young, again, much younger than Joseph. Ads are starting here. Yeah, we'll let the ads play. Let's see how this goes. Hold on, we'll let the ads play, and then we'll continue with the story after the ads. think the ads are running, or they have run. Alright, I'm going to continue with the story. Anybody... Hold on a second here. Let's put that in there. If you because it said the ads were getting ready to run, but I don't know if, like, okay, now the ads are running. Okay, so that's like 2 minutes ads. All right, now we'll wait, or maybe they just got done. I don't know. Is anybody still seeing ads? Well, you don't have ads because you're a subscriber, thanks to Scruffy Tam, Joseph. You don't have to watch ads. Okay, all right. So basically, as I was saying, alcoholism was highly encouraged. It was tolerated. It was almost expected. Sometimes it seems. And if you were one of the outliers who didn't want to get drunk, you were kind of, people were like, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you want to get drunk?" kind of thing, right? And it was easy to get used to it, right? Because you would, like, hey, everybody else is, so why not me? You come up with the excuses, right? And that Sergeant Major left. I don't remember if he retired. I mean, I just remember him being a kind of a rebel rouser and just, always looking for a fight. Now there's an ad. Okay. Because I don't know how, like, I don't think you can hear me. That's the problem. Morning, Mick. Except if you're a subscriber, then you can. We'll wait for the ads to play. We'll give it a few more minutes. That's okay. We still got a bit of flying to go. Okay, it's done. All right. So basically, like, I remember him because we had, like, what we call a dining out, right? And this was not long after I got to Germany. And when you're one of the new people, basically what happens is you get kind of roped into being a waiter for the dining out. And then at the end, after everybody's eaten and you've eaten, they bring up all these racks of German beer, Hofbrau, and everybody gets obliterated drunk. And that Sergeant Major at the time took off his, he was, dress blues was something that only senior NCOs and officers had. The junior enlisted all had what they call Army greens, the green uniform, the green dress uniform. He took off his dress blue jacket, went running through the officers club, and did what we call a carrier landing, which meant he jumped and just went sliding down tables like he was landing on an aircraft carrier. Bottles and everything goes flying everywhere, and so. But now I remember Sergeant Major Veach, who took over as our battalion Sergeant Major, because he saw what was happening. And there was one particular staff. Hey, good morning, Scruffy. How are you? There was one particular staff sergeant who was notorious for getting popped on driving under the influence. Now, back under the previous Sergeant Major, that stuff was kind of swept under the rug and nothing really happened. But he got popped. I think maybe Sergeant Major Beach, but with a V. Veach. He hadn't been there but a couple months, and the same staff sergeant got in trouble. He got pulled over by the MPs. Sergeant Major Veach says, "I have my example, and it's going to suck to be you." Now this staff sergeant had at least, I think, 15 years in at that point. So he was already, if he had stuck around, got promoted, he would have been able to retire. Sergeant Major took everything from him, threw him in jail at there in Mannheim, dishonorable discharge, the whole, and then shortly, so that was like step one. And of course, nobody really pays attention because they're like, well, the guy was a massive screw up, and it was just a matter of time before something was going to happen. And but there was one night that I think I've talked about. Hey, Daniel. There was one night at the club on post where I went to go have a couple of drinks, and then it turns out one of the guys in the unit was leaving, and so we ended up between me and my buddy, we had 2 bottles of Mad Dog 2020 plus all the beers we drank in between, and we were wasted. Now the bad part was the next morning I had to take a PT test. I only got like a couple hours of sleep. Woke up, I'm like, oh, I gotta take this PT test. Passed the PT test, surprisingly. Do as many push-ups as you can within 2 minutes. Do as many sit-ups as you can within 2 minutes. Run 2 miles as fast as possible. And I passed. I didn't think I was going to pass the sit-ups or the run. But technically on that day, me and my buddy both were probably legally drunk on duty. Like if they had given us a breathalyzer, we would have been popped for drunk on duty. That afternoon, still like buzzed, kind of hungover, just feeling like crap. That's when they announced that from that point on, that's exactly what they were going to do. Sergeant Major made it very clear. He went around and talked to all the companies and said, if you blow above this percentage, you're drunk on duty, I'm going to have your ass. Plain as that. Now, my buddy and I thought they were going to start the breathalyzer right then and there. We looked at each other like, oh, we're screwed. We're done. And I say all that, like I come from a family of alcoholics, especially on my mom's side. My uncle died from his alcoholism. Well, that and smoking. My aunt died partially from her alcoholism, plus drug abuse, amongst other things. But I remember somebody I used to work with years ago. We worked together in Oakland when I did I was working for the company that we did the aerial photo mosaic of all of the state of Missouri for the U.S. Geological Survey. She moved down to L.A. to go to film school at UCLA, or she was applying to go there, but she moved down there, and I went down there to visit her once, and she smoked marijuana fairly regularly, which I was like, hey, that's your thing, far be it from me to judge. Oh, there's our needle active. This needle's not working, but we got a distance at least. That's all right. She said, why is it that alcohol is tolerated, but marijuana isn't. Like if you smoke marijuana in the military, you get busted for drug abuse. I said, well, that's the way the rules are. I don't know. It's not up to me. I don't have any say in the matter. But she had a point, because alcohol is a drug. You know. But she had a valid point. Why is it that alcohol? And that's why I say alcoholism was expected, it was tolerated, it was encouraged. Now, when I went back in the second time, that was not necessarily the case. Like, if you had a drinking problem, they were like, you can go to substance abuse program, but they're already working on your chapter paperwork. They're not going to let you stick around. Even if you recover and you turn your life around, they're like, nope, we're not going to waste our time with you. So I recall, again, like I said, that when I was younger than Joseph, drinking excessively, bragging about it. We were, we had this mindset as, well, nobody's going to out-party us, nobody's going to out-drink us. What does that prove? Like, that's the most insane thing in the world. Oh, I can out-drink you. Like, I can understand if somebody, I can run faster than you, or I can lift more weights than you, or I can but why is it boggled my mind, and I didn't realize it until, of course, as I got much older, that why was that something to brag about? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense, So, I guess the moral of the story is, Joseph, you don't need to brag about how much you're drinking. Nobody needs to know that, honestly. But you know what? The other thing I learned too is, and I learned this as I got older, when you know somebody's living a life that is very destructive, right? Whether it's drug abuse, alcohol abuse, gambling, whatever kind of addiction, right? It doesn't matter how much you love that person, because if they're on that path of destruction, no amount of love is going to change their ways. You're right, Nick. You're right. It is absolutely not a good look. But my mom, my uncle, my mom's brother, my grandmother pleaded with him, please stop your. Not that she was any better. It was like the pot calling the kettle black. But people begged my uncle to change his ways. Nope. The doctor even told him, if you stop drinking, you stop smoking, you'll live longer. Nope. In one ear, not the other. Same thing with my aunt. My mom pleaded with my aunt. I tried to plead with her. Stop this. You're destroying yourself. And that's the hard part, is no matter how much you love somebody, I'm not talking about romantic love or being in love with somebody, but just love of family and friends, people that you care about. It's very, very difficult to get somebody to wake up and say, I'm destroying my life, because for some people that's just how they live, right? It's comfortable. Unfortunately, it's comfortable to live on that path of destruction, because it's either we've lost hope, or we're like, oh, but it feels good. Yeah, but you wake up the next day, all the problems that you are running from are still there. That hasn't changed. The feelings are all still there, right? And I know it was easy. I did it the second time I was in. I'd start drinking. Oh, well, I'll just have a few drinks, and next thing you know. And there was times where, honestly, I drank because I didn't want to wake up the next day. You just want to get so blacked out drunk that you don't even wake up. And you're just like, well, at least I'll die in my sleep. I won't feel nothing. And then you wake up the next day and you're just like, oh, you're like crap. And next thing you know, the doctor talks to you and says you got a fatty liver disease because of all your drinking. But I know, nothing I'm saying now is going to make a difference. It won't change, Joseph. I know it won't change you with your drinking. It's your decision. But I've tried to tell you this before. There's people here who love you. We're not well, we're like family. We're a virtual family. There's people here who absolutely love you to death, but don't want to love you in death. That's the hard part. That goes for everybody. It's not just Joseph. I shouldn't just say this. I know I do it. You know, I can be one of those miserable people that I'm on that path. If I'm on a path of destruction of some kind, no amount of love is going to stop that. You know. That's the difficult part. And as I told this story before about the young gal that when I was working at the hospital, when I was a transporter, and even on the oncology floor, because she spent some time there, when I worked as an aide on the oncology floor. Just drugs, alcohol, just abused her body, just tore herself up. And her mom, I remember vividly her mom pleading with her, please stop this. I can't bear to see you like this. Happened to go to dialysis for her kidneys because she damaged her kidneys so much. No amount of love got her to change it. She was already on that path. She was so far gone, she was like, screw it, I don't give a shit. But that's the terrible part, really. No matter how much love. She needed that fix more than she needed her mom. So there's story time. The end. Anyways, we'll be back Monday, continuing our journey in Uber 52. We'll depart here from Topeka and head to Iowa. And then from Iowa, and then Tuesday we'll finish up the Route 66 stuff. We'll do that last flight in the Jenny. And then the Wednesday we'll pick up our next leg of our flight here in the Uber 52. Thursday no stream. Friday and Saturday we got jetliner stuff. Friday we are going from Malta to Tunisia. Saturday we're going from Dallas Fort Worth to Miami. A319 on Friday, A321 on Saturday. So if you want to fly on either one of those days, if you want to get your jetliner fix, you're more than welcome to. If not, it's quite all right. So there we go. Scruffy, I will be lurking because you might go live here before I wrap things up. We've got maybe I'll probably be wrapping. Oh, so your days off are slowly counting down for you, Daniel. Huh? That sucks. So you just put that you put that Cher song, If I Could Turn Back Time, you just put that on repeat and you'll turn back time. You can relive the whole week. There you go. remember years ago there was a book. This guy kind of became, I don't remember his name, but he became kind of a male fitness model. And his story was that something had happened where he was on that path of destruction. He was literally destroying his body, and finally hit rock bottom and started working out. And then suddenly, because of that, he said it was amazing how different his life was once he got back in shape and everything. He said all the negative stuff in his life was gone. Like all the negative people, all the negative crap in his life it was like this, almost, I guess almost like a fog lifted. And he wrote a book about it. And, I forget his name, but it was like, I don't know when it came out. It was quite some time ago. A pretty crazy story. There you go. Somebody could be Mr. Universe out there and not even know it. All right, 18 and a half miles. Like I said, sometimes people were too far gone in life. We're seeing that our needle didn't. This thing is acting a bit weird. So yeah, the embreggers are working, so those will be back in the repertoire. What else? So I'll put out I've already got the schedule for the week written down. I just got to change Thursday to Tuesday, but that's okay. When I post the schedule there in the Discord. So just like with the Ryan, the Spirit of St. Louis that we did on Thursday, I think the Jenny doesn't have any radios. So, should be a nice kind of a quiet flight from San Bernardino to Santa Monica. We'll get that flight done Tuesday, wrap up that whole thing, and then 26 no stream, so that Tuesday and Thursday I'll be off streaming, and then the following week we'll start the we'll do some 1935 flying. So what it'll be is the 1935 stuff will be on the week that we do a jetliner service, and then the following week when we're doing the Twin Beach in South America that Thursday, we'll do regional jet flight. So yeah, so it should be good. So the other thing too is those 1935 airports are add-ons. So be aware that if you're going to fly with me, you're going to have to start from somewhere else and meet me in the air. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take off and land on the old airports. So just want to give everybody a heads up of that. Again, if you want to fly, you're more than welcome to. You don't need to necessarily go spend the money for those add-on airports. Okay? Please don't do that. Just fly. I don't want anybody to spend money they can't afford to spend on stuff like that. And also, once we're wrapped up here, go hang out in Scruffy Stream for a while. I guarantee you'll have a laugh. You have fun. Joseph, you especially, go hang out in the Scruffy Stream. Hit the flush, hit the F so you hear the flush thing so you can get a giggle yourself silly. I don't know how to play the fart sound. That one I haven't quite figured out yet. Yeah. Oh, let's go. We're gonna go hang out. I don't know how to do the raid thing here from my version of Twitch, but I'm gonna be hanging out in Scruffy's stream on his little flying adventure. So, which will be starting in about 18 minutes, give or take. And even do the exclamation socks. He'll show you his socks that he's wearing. Probably the only streamer that has a sock camera. Bex knows. Bex saw it last Saturday when we were flying to Japan. She went in and watched Scruffy and did the sock command. Oh my god, those are some strange socks. Who knows? Maybe today's socks will be the ones that Kahari's mom made for him. I don't know what kind of socks Scruffy will wear. But they never match. Ever. And Joseph buggered off. Either that or he's having his pie and mash for lunch. Daniel's probably eating he's already devoured his fish and chips. Now, Daniel, you said you order peas with your fish and chips. You get the fish and chips, but you also get peas with it. But they're like not like. No, correct. Eating it now. Okay. But you like they're mashed peas or something? Is that how I understand it to be? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else or something else. I don't know. I was say because most any fish and chip place here, I've never heard them serving it with peas of any kind. Even if it's like a traditional English pub sort of place that you can order fish and chips from, or at, I should say. That must be a really completely real English thing with the peas with the fish and chips. Joseph might be downstairs eating his pie and mash. But Mom, Daniel's talking about his fish and chips. I gotta get back to the chat. Mushy peas. Oh, okay. Mushy peas. I've never heard of that before. Well, most people in America, if you say mushy peas, most people would probably think of baby food. Quite honestly, that's what it. Not to put down what you're eating, but in America, honestly, I think if you told people mushy peas, they'd be like, "It's like baby food. What? Why would I have baby food with my fish and chips?" But I've never any place that I've ever ordered or restaurant, whatever, that had fish and chips. I don't remember them ever serving. So there he is. I gotta get back, Mom. They're talking about fish and chips and stuff. All right, 117.80. Joseph probably misposed to story. That's all right. Now on a heading of 186. We are. Did you enjoy your pie and mash, or did you just scarf it down just to get back onto the stream, Joseph? Did you thank your mom for lunch as well? Thank you, Mrs. Adams, for Joseph's lunch. Everybody put that in the chat. Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Joseph, tell your mom that your friend in America said thank you for your lunch. Oh, well, then thank your dad for lunch. Thank you, Mr. Adams, for Joseph's lunch. All right. Now the meat is 11. All right, just under 49. Thank your dad anyway, Joseph. Goodness gracious. Let's say thank you, Dad, for lunch. Oh, the semantics here. Oh, my goodness. In your own words, Joseph, what are you like? Doesn't cost you anything to say thank you to your dad for having lunch. Even if you bought it. Just say thank you anyway. Telling you, you're really gunning for that one-way trip to the Bronx with Amela. I'm beginning to think that's Amela's one-way. That's Amela's 2023 New Year's resolution, is to get you on a plane on a one-way trip to the Bronx, Joseph. Oh, Joseph. Somebody used, I forget who it was years ago, On their birthday, you know what they would do? They wouldn't wait for their mom to call them on their birthday. They would call their mom on their own birthday. They even send flowers to their mom on their own birthday. Oh, somebody I knew years ago. I can't remember. Probably somebody I used to work with a long time ago. I'd be like, yeah, I call my. Like, how was your birthday? Oh, I called my mom. Like, wait, you called your mom on your birthday? Yeah. Sent her flowers too. I was like, oh, okay. She's my mom. Yeah, but it's your birthday, so. What can you do? What would you do for a Klondike bar? Bill's like, I'll take all the Klondike bars in the world. But my cost is I got to bring Joseph to the Bronx one way. That's what I'll do for a Klondike bar. But all the Klondike bars. Sold. Oh, well, there we go. We have to make that one happen for sure. I don't. Well, you know what? Okay. I will have a nice plan for you for your birthday. It may not be 10 hours and 40 minutes of flying. It's very difficult. Like I have racked my brain trying to find like a similar sort of flight just in other locations in the world. And but it's very difficult. So I'll come up with something for your birthday on that 4th. But it'll definitely be British Airways flights. And we'll make it fun. I'm trying to think where we could go. We'll fly out of Heathrow. But yeah, I'll find something. Because I remember we did do your flight. I think it was last year we did the flight to Orlando from a small airport for your birthday. I think the year prior we did it. It was in the Cessna 172. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do something British Airways, and of course, hopefully you're able to fly along, even if you don't do the whole thing. But yeah. Ooh. Okay. Yep. I already know. I already know what I'm gonna do. Already got it. We did some maths, crunched the numbers, did the calculations, measured twice but cut once. Yep, I already know. We're going to take off from Heathrow. Mick, we're going to take off from Heathrow. We're going to find roughly where Bex lives and buzz Bex's house and some fires. I'm kidding. No, I already know what we're going to do. and get ready to go lurk in Scruffy's stream. Yeah, I think Builds, they did a, they're the ones who've been, I guess, had put out a new Heathrow airport. You know, one of the things I was thinking, I'm glad you brought that up, Nick. So I was, looking at all these flights with the Embraer, right? And one does take off out of Washington, or the Reagan Airport there, Washington, D.C., but the gates are not like all correct. Like that airport really needs a massive overhaul. Now there is one that you can buy. It's like $15, right? And I'm sure it has all the new gate assignment. Like everything, all the terminals are correct. I'm like, why do I have to pay $15 for that? Honestly, but I heard the Builds. I think it's Builds. Their Heathrow is supposed to be like really awesome, but I don't know if it's available here on the PC side. But if you're talking in real life, I think most major airports go through updates and renovations. I'm thinking the one there in Newark is probably still ongoing. They've probably been delayed by weather and Joseph sneaking in and stealing tools and stuff like that. But yeah, I did hear I think Builds has done I don't know if that's, no, we'll take a look after we wrap this up. But yeah, I already know where we're taking off from Heathrow. The destination is secret. The ideas are just flowing here. Between you stealing the tools and Amela going over there to Newark and stealing all the construction workers' lunches. So when do they get anything done? You contacts Kansas City Center. I'm not contacting anybody. Can't make me. Alright, I think what we're gonna do here, we're gonna throw our landing lights on. Alright, I am thinking. Let's see. FOE. A lot of small little fields here. Threshing bee? What? Wow, okay. There it is. Topeka Regional. Hmm. All right, there we go. We got our pattern. Oh, let me go see if Scruffy's last. Yep, he is. Got my lurk mode and kind of engaged over there already on the Scruffy stream. Want to keep watching some more flying. Once we wrap things up, do go give Scruffy a bit of your time, please. Promise you will laugh. You might even cry. And you won't have to kiss any money goodbye. Alright, so of course, as usual, once I get ready to land, I will be ignoring the chat so we're on the ground. Is the standard. If you miss any comments or questions, I apologize in advance. Try to catch up to them once we're on the ground, got the plane under control, and taxiing to our parking spot. Look real quick about the Heathrow thing. Just curious. See, I don't know the builds. I don't think they put a lot of stuff in the marketplace in the sim. Maybe they have. I'd never really looked, but I'm curious to see if their Heathrow airport is available in the sim. In the in-sim marketplace. How much? I can't imagine that it's cheap, because they do usually make good quality products for flight sim. Alright, final heading. Or at least have a final heading. 201. And into the center of the airport there. Here's this anymore. Oh, there's that. Wow, there's our pattern entry. Okay. Well, we won't worry about 201 then. So we'll just keep flying this direction, and then we'll definitely dump some more altitude here. some flaps down and start slowing down here a bit. Make our way towards our pattern entry there, get set up for landing, put it on the ground. File my hours for Parasocks Airlines. Parasocks Airlines! Just because you have a pair of socks. Unless you're in a suit, of course. Then at least wear matching socks. Well, maybe, I don't know. I guess you could break that rule too. Oh, you just followed it. Are you talking about Scruffy, Joseph? Joseph. Mellow. I don't think we could wait the whole year. I think that one-way trip to the Bronx needs to happen right away. Oh, Lordy. Poor guy gives you a gifted sub to my channel. You can't. Joseph. Oh my goodness. You even thanked him last week for the gifted sub. Oh. What are you even like at? Oh boy. Too much for your own good, Joseph, sometimes. Alright, there's our pattern entry. We're going to keep going this way a little bit longer because we got to dump a lot of altitude. Everybody hold on. You're gonna dump a lot of altitude here. Alright. We can do both. Same time. There we go. Now I'll put my nose in over on FS hub after we wrap this stream up. Boom, made it just enough fuel. Added a little bit just to make sure. Looks like that might have been a good call. We could circle around a couple times if we needed to, or more than a couple, but I don't really want to do that. Get things wrapped up and go hang out with Scruff. He's already probably been saying some kind things about me in the chat. A little bit of snow flurry. It must be really cold outside today. Old crusty salute. Could you imagine if you're driving on this freeway and you see this plane coming in for landing? What is that? I don't know, I don't like it. I saw there's a new route out for Train Sim World 3. I think Joe Mega Sim's been on it already. Steve's been on it. Everybody's happy. This is a UK route. They're like, we can stick it to the Americans and their freight bullshit. Is it $1 or something? Little bump. Ooh. All right, there we are. Ah, oops, a daisy. Thank you. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, no builds stuff. Sorry, I tried to mute myself. Hopefully, I did not cough in your ear. Um, so yeah, no Heathrow Airport, but yeah, we'll be back Monday, 6:45 Eastern, 11:45 UTC/UK in the Eucharist 52. Schedule will be forthcoming either today or tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for coming in today, hanging out. Nice to see you all here. Go hang out in Scruffy Stream. That's what I'm going to be doing. So let's go have some laughs over there. Um, do enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday for some folks around the world. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot until Monday. Peace. Live long and prosper.